Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Tech Care Christ. These videos usually don't do too well, but I gotta try it again. This is the Galaxy Z Fold 7. I love this phone. It's been a couple of weeks now. After that, I did like a little unboxing. I'm not even sure if I posted that, but this phone has been amazing. This is one of the first gadgets I got in a long time that when I'm using it, people say, "What kind of phone is that?" And they want to play with it. And the part that I like the best is it's usually an iPhone user that grab it and they say, "Oh wow, this is raw." Usually when I buy an Android phone, but iPhone people they usually say, "I can't believe you got an Android. Why would you do something like that? I gotta have my iPhone." But when they saw this phone, they was like, "Okay, I get it. I get it." Let me tell you a couple of cool things. So remember, I went to the Galaxy Z Fold because I was kind of getting bored again, and I needed something that was fun. So that's why I switched back over to Samsung. Android just allowed me to do so much stuff so easy. No hacks, no nothing. I just gotta go in. I could just explore. Now that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I got the freedom to mess up a whole bunch of stuff, but I also got freedom to make a lot of stuff cool. So it's first thing. Let's look at my home screen. Home screen pretty cool. I got my calendar on there. I got my little widgets to play. Now, admittedly, Apple does that now, but for the longest time, only Galaxy did that. Cool little thing I like. I can put my little calendar as my little home screen, nice and spread out. I got my little widgets down here that I love. I love that this thing is small. It can fit in my pocket pretty easy. Let me stand up and do a demonstration. Let me see here. Oh, so you see, you can slide right in my pocket, pull it right back out, nice and easy. So that's a good thing. Um, that's something that I really like. I like that how thin it is. In the past, it was too bulky, but now it's thin, so that's a good thing. So that's the thing I like about it now. Uh, Another cool thing, I love that I could spread it out. So usually when I'm sitting down, I'm on my couch, I usually spread it out and I use it as a tablet. Now I'm the same guy that used to use iPad Mini. So now there is no need for iPad Mini because I have this. But I might go back to iPad Mini. I'm not saying I never do that again. But it's kind of cool that I can have both a phone and an iPad in the same device. Another thing that I have really been enjoying is, like I said, a lot of screen real estate so that I can pull in. I got my Notion apps. I got my Spotify playlist. I got my calendar. Then I got still some room to pull up apps and everything. One thing I really like, the game changer that really win a lot of people over is when they see me multitasking. So let's say I got this browser open. I can easily I can easily do a split screen. So if I got a browser open, then I want to buy it on Amazon, I can say, okay, well, let me look through Amazon while I'm going through the browser. So that's pretty cool. You see, I'm going through both. I hope I just didn't buy something. You can move it around side by side. I love that side by side. Y'all been seeing that. So that's kind of cool. So I like to multitask. Another cool parlor trick that I do when I show people why I bought this phone is this big, huge viewfinder. So when I'm watching videos, I got this little viewfinder, but there's a button here. So when I'm taking pictures of people, I usually just take a picture of them and they can see that I got a second screen showing, and they love that. That way they can see themselves while the video is going. So that's one of those cool little tricks of the trade. Also cool that's inside. It can show me the picture, so it's showing me the progress of my pictures while I'm snapping it from this angle. That's some dope stuff, y'all. That's something that's really really cool. Some This is pretty cool. Just another dual camera, another feature. That's real cool. Things that you gotta get used to. I used to double tap for Apple Pay. Then I could loan tap for Gemini. I could still do that, but it just feels different. I'm not sure why, but it feels different. It's another thing that I like about it though is the Gemini is amazing. Gemini, what should I do with my free time today? I don't know. I was just trying to think of something. But I don't know. I probably should ask stuff like that. But anyway, I love the Gemini. I like that I could just take pictures of stuff and then I could do Uh, um, I can just click on Gemini and it pull up stuff. It can look up all these things. I remember I just asked Gemini. I said, "Can you take this picture?" I took a picture of something. I said, "Can you place everything in my calendar?" And it placed everything in my calendar. I thought that was pretty smooth. I love the live video. So this with the live video, even if I have my screen open, I could just talk about things. Now, one thing I noticed that's different about this phone than a lot of other phones, I find myself when I'm walking around, going through the day by day, I keep the screen closed. When I had the Galaxy Z Fold 3 and I had the Z Fold 6 even for a little bit, it was still just a little bit too narrow. I wasn't able to comfortably like wear it closed, use it closed. So I found myself I'm standing in line at Walmart and I'm still trying to open it up, which feels awkward. Now I can keep it closed. So I love that I can use it for a regular phone. It feels like I'm rambling. I probably should have organized my thoughts, but I just want y'all to get an authentic look of how these things been going for me since I've been using the Z Fold. You guys kind of saw the pictures, but the pictures is still amazing, and being able to get to the pictures and everything. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty. One more thing before I get there. One thing I noticed about this phone that's different. I had the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I don't know if it's my imagination or it just might be my world settings, but in my experience, I'm able to connect to Wi-Fi devices much faster. I've been getting a much faster connection. Things been going smoother around my house. I use Roku TVs. I'm able to connect to my Roku's much faster with the Z Fold 7. Now, for this part of the video, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little clap just in case I edit it later, y'all. I'm breaking the fourth wall, but for this part of the video, let me tell you some things I had to get used to. So, a couple of issues because I had the iPhone 16 Pro Max. First thing I had to do was be proactive. I tried to use third-party things for most of my productivity, most of my work through. Okay, so for instance, for my browser, instead of using Safari, I've been using Chrome. I actually been using Chrome for the past couple of years, and because of that, all of my passwords are saved in Chrome. I'm used to going to all the websites. They are like my cookies and stuff can transfer. I'm not sure if they transfer actually, but I know my bookmarks and things transfer. I'm able to pick up on different devices. I'm used to doing that on Chrome, even on the iPhone, and I use a MacBook Pro as well. But I use Chrome for everything, so now everything can talk to each other. So that's how I overcame that issue. Also, I was being proactive. For the past 2 years, I've been getting all my friends and family to talk about WhatsApp. I need to make a video on the virtues of WhatsApp. But WhatsApp, for those that don't know, is basically like iOS Messenger, but for the rest of the world. And unlike on the iPhone, you don't have to worry about the blue screens. Everybody has the same experience, whether they're on the iPhone or Android, for pretty much. All right, so you got the group chat features. You still got all the emojis, the gifs, or just however you want to call it. You still got all the video calls, all those things, and then you can use it on your MacBook. You can use it on a Chromebook. You can use WhatsApp even on your Meta glasses. So WhatsApp is a dope tool. If you're outside of America, WhatsApp is what everybody uses anyway. So it's you know, it's a good thing. And then it's private too, so you still get all the privacy features that you get with iOS Messenger used with WhatsApp. So I get everybody on WhatsApp anyway. Anybody I actually talk to is on WhatsApp. And the cool thing about having an Android, I know that the people that I actually talk to is on WhatsApp. So if I get a message, I know it's from a business or something in my regular messages because the people that I care about usually is on WhatsApp. Everybody else is maybe like people from work or something like that. No offense to the people at work, but I'm talking about those close relationships on WhatsApp, even the people at work. So that's one thing I had to get used to. Google Wallet, it replaced my Apple Wallet. Now I admit one of the things I'm hurting with the most is I use my Apple Wallet, my Apple card a lot, and now I don't have the Apple Card. I had to switch credit cards, but that's a minor thing. A credit card is a credit card, but it was pretty awesome using Apple Wallet, so I had to adjust to that. As far as my notes, I've been using Notion. Admittedly, Notion is not as cool as um, Apple Notes, but it's much deeper. So it's a much higher barrier to entry, but it's much deeper. The thing I do like about Notion is how they organize the structure of the notes. So I got broad categories, and in my broad categories, I'm able to go deeper into it. So like I have my church sermons, so then all my church sermons is in there. It's only a couple of weeks now because I only had phone for a couple of weeks. But then you have like my private notes. And then I have my to-do lists. So I can make multiple to-do lists under the to-do list tab. So I can get OCD sometimes. For those that's really a productivity nerd, um, that really get down to the weeds, that's what Notion is good for. And they also even have a drawing feature, so that's something that's pretty cool. Um, yeah, so I use Notion a lot, and then I try to sync it with OneNote. That way I can have a backup. But like I said, I'm gonna talk about that later. Good thing about Notion is cross-platform. So let's say I go back to iPhone, I still can keep my Notion notes, and then I can access Notion online, so I can get to it on my MacBook, or if I'm on an iPad, or if I'm on even a Chromebook, I can get to my Notion via the browser. So that's pretty good. Um, I use Google Passwords. So for those that say I can't leave iPhone because of Google, because of the password manager, you can actually download Google Password Manager on your iPhone right now, and you can still have all of your passwords there. So I got everything saved in my password manager. So that was pretty easy. So when I switched over to Android, that was no problem. I was able to just uh, transfer all my passwords. Admittedly, it was like some real old stuff that I had on Apple's version of the password manager. Um, but I still got a MacBook, so I was able to get back in there, and check out my passwords, and I'm just slowly but surely like just moving those passwords over. So I will admit that is a little barrier to entry, but you got it. Fingerprint reader. Now, the S25 Ultra, they have it like directly on the screen. With the Fold, you got it on your thumb. Uh, so what I would advise you to do, just put the fingerprint reader on multiple fingers. That's what I did. Now that works when you're trying to log into passwords, when you're trying to do like banking apps and things of that nature. But to be honest, I put the face unlock for just normal stuff. So if I'm just trying to access my phone, I do the face ID just like I did on the iPhone, and it's been working pretty good. Just looking at my face on there, um, and it works pretty smooth. I'm opening and closing it now. I don't know if it's showing on camera, but let's say I'm logged off, and I just tap, swipe, it should pop up. Look, it didn't do it that time, but the Face ID was still working. You probably could even remove the tap function, so you could just go straight into it. But that hasn't been a problem. The biometric stuff is the same, so you good with that. One thing that's pretty cool that I like about Google Wallet, um, well, Apple Wallet, when you pull up the wallet, like saying you paying for something, it kind of pull up right away. Google kind of give you a little berry. That could be a good thing or a bad thing, but I like that you can switch your card first, pretty easy, and then it stays open. Apple is kind of like give you a couple of seconds. With Google Wallet, as long as you got your fingerprint in, it'll stay open for a little while for you, so you don't feel like that rush. Because I know sometimes like the person at the register trying to get something together, or or if you did it wrong, you don't want to get an error message, things of that nature. All right, so that's been pretty good. And then last but not least, you got to get your mail right. In Google Mail, you do got to go into the settings to make sure it renders correctly, make sure it opens up on one window. Um, the thing I do like about Gmail is, as you see, this is my little junk account. As you see, I have the mail in one pane, and then it opens up on the other pane. So they got the inbox listing, then it opens up on another pane. So that's pretty cool. Hope I didn't click on that thing too big. Uh, so it's just you just going through stuff, which makes it pretty easy to triage your email. So I like that. And the cool thing is you could put any mail client you want right on Android. You could just have it down on the screen, and then it just be there for you. So that's pretty cool. Um, Another thing, I love the app stay open because of the amount of RAM in here. I believe it's 12 gigs of RAM in here. Everything just stays open. With this chip, it's definitely strong enough to kind of run all the apps. You don't have to worry about like stuff freezing or locking up. So it's been a very, very good phone. All right. So those two things transitioning from Apple over to Android. And before I leave, let me show you one last show off thing. All right, so one last show off thing is this little fold mode. So let's say I pull up, let me see. Let's say I pull up YouTube. This is making for bad TV. But let's say I pull up YouTube. I could put it with the hat screen folded. Let me see. Of course, it's gonna. I could put it half the screen folded and then put it in flex mode. And then when you put it in flex mode, the video shows you got the home screen on one side and then the other screen on the other. So it's pretty cool. So you get to have like almost like a little desktop computer when you do it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Getting that little flex mode version. I'm sorry. Let me see something really quick. I'm at to. It was something somebody just texted me. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm making a video. That is very, very unprofessional. All right. But like I was saying, you got the flex mode that's pretty cool when you can change the orientation. Then you can go into like a desktop mode. So that was pretty cool. Oh, I just realized I didn't show the screen when they had it on there. Let me see. So you see how you can kind of control the you can kind of make have the controls on the bottom while the video is playing on the top. Good thing about that, I can have my laptop just like I said laptop. You see, Freudian slip. I can have my phone just sitting off to the side like a laptop, and I can just be watching TV. Or watching on my video, I should say. I said watching TV. I'm an old head. I'm an 80s baby. But you can be watching your video while you're in the kitchen, while you're doing some work. You just prop your phone up and have that boy going just like that. And last but not least is Dex mode. Dex mode is still amazing. I still think it doesn't get talked about enough. I know for sure if Apple was doing it, that's all people would be talking about is Dex mode. Because Dex mode, it allows you to hook your computer up USB-C to a TV and it automatically goes into Dex mode. Now, when you hook it up in Dex mode, it's basically, this becomes like a mini PC. It has a little mouse browser on there where you can move around your desktop interface. You can open up apps just like a computer. So I'm a teacher. So one time I was in a class, I left my bag in my car. I was coming off a break, got to the classroom, and I needed to pull up our interface, our learning platform, and I didn't have my computer. I'm like, should I run back to the car or do I need to stay in class because students were starting to come in? Then I remember I got Dex mode. So I was able to plug up my laptop directly to our huge smart board, our huge TV screen. This became a mini PC. It had the keyboard built in, got a little mouse built in, and I was able to run my lesson to get, the PowerPoint with all the objectives and stuff. I was able to pull it up and get the learning platform started to activate the assignment for my students, all from my phone. And then when I was done, close up the phone, put it back in my pocket, and I'm good to go. So that's the great thing. Also on Samsung, they do upgrades like crazy. They did a memory upgrade for free. So I paid the price for 256 and I got a 512. 512. That's a half a terabyte. All right, that's like most people. Well, that's way more than most people MacBook, and that's like half of the people Windows PC. So that's a lot of storage. Right now, I'm taking out about 128 gigs of memory right now, but I got 512 in the storage. So sometimes I just plug this up, and it functions as a USB drive, and I can dump movies in here, and I can just take it with me, get to another computer, plug it up, and take the movies off, or I can just put it in Dex mode. And I already got the files in there, so I was able to play a movie clip straight from my phone by just dumping it directly to my phone. I don't got to go through no iTunes. I ain't got to do no setup. I ain't got to try to figure anything out. It's just built directly into it because the interface is wide open and you can do what you want. All right. I've been going long enough, I believe. I think this video, 20 minutes. So I just want y'all to check it out. I'm 2 weeks in, not turning back. I'm going to hold on to this one for a minute, y'all. All right, because I know I usually go back and forth, and I know me. Eventually, I probably will go back. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. If y'all like this video, if you got some questions, send me a comment. Please drop a little comment. They help out the algorithm so I can get some more views. Look, I'm trying to get to the point where people send me devices to review. I know I just got to step my game up a little bit, but this is a good start. So leave a little comment. I answer any questions. This is a real life person, come from real life events. I paid my own money for this device, and I'm telling you my own views. All right. Please like and subscribe. I got plenty of content. I'm trying to approach you as a regular, everyday dad. We're guided by Christ. Because everything I do is for the Lord. That's why I am a techie in Christ. God bless.